Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Alexander, and I am back. I'm gonna do back-to-back videos today. Now, some of y'all like the video, and some of y'all hate the video, and that's to be expected. I don't expect everybody to like all my videos, so it is what it is here on YouTube. Today's video is gonna be called Sex Game, Nightclubs, and the Bars. A lot of guys on YouTube have made videos about why it's not good to go to the nightclubs and the bars. And no matter how many YouTube videos get made, you guys want to go to the nightclubs and the bars anyway. Because somehow, some way, you believe that you can get the most hottest chick out the nightclub. And I understand that. I get it. I'm 32 years old and I still, well, I don't exactly go to the nightclubs. I actually go to the golf club, but that's still a club nevertheless on a small venue in Hollywood. And today I'm going to give you the math and the science like I do in all my videos. I'm going to give you the good and the bad. Had to put on some hair moisturizer, gotta look good for these cameras. If I ever plan on being a Hollywood film director one day. Now let's get into a story. It's not going to be a long story, but it's going to be a story nevertheless. Do y'all remember the name Michael Jeffrey Jordan? Better known as Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player to ever play the game of basketball. Got drafted in the NBA draft in 1984 and I think 1985 NBA draft. I believe 1985. I'll have to double check. But I believe it might be around 1984, 1985. Around that time, Michael Jordan was drafted into the NBA. Now, we all know he never got the number one pick. We all know that. We know Portland Trail Blazers passed him up. And we know he was drafted to the Chicago Bulls. And we all know that for 8 years he struggled to beat teams like the Detroit Pistons and the Boston Celtics. But coming into the 1990s, Michael finally knocked off the Boston Celtics. He finally defeated the Detroit Pistons. But he still had teams that were still trying to get in his way of winning championships. He still had to compete on a high competitive level against basketball teams like the Indiana Pacers, Reggie Miller and the Indiana Pacers. There was the New York Knicks. Remember, what's that tall center's name? I forgot his name, but he played at Georgetown University and he won 2 championships with Patrick Ewing. There we damn go. Patrick Ewing. He went to Georgetown. He won 2 championships. He got drafted into the NBA and was the number 1 pick of the NBA draft in 1984. And he was drafted by the New York Knicks. That organization that's only won 2 NBA championships, and it's 70 years later. He's gone to the NBA Finals twice. I'm talking about Patrick Ewing. 1994 NBA Finals. Who does he lose to? He loses to the Houston Rockets. He goes back to the NBA Finals in 1999. And who does Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks lose to? The San Antonio Spurs. Michael Jordan, he wins the 1991 NBA Finals against Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers. The 1992 NBA season, Michael Jordan plays against the Portland Trail Blazers, and he beats them in the finals. And then he beats a young Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns in his 3rd NBA final. And Michael Jordan wins 3 NBA championships 3 years in a row. Leaves, goes and plays baseball, loses to a young Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway in the Orlando Magics in the 1995 NBA Eastern Conference semifinals. Houston Rockets repeat. They go and the Houston Rockets win 2 championships 2 years in a row, knocks off the Orlando Magics. Michael Jordan comes back and plays against Gary Payton, Shawn Kemp, and the Seattle Supersonics. I mean, they're not the Seattle Supersonics no more. They're now the Oklahoma City Thunder. But back in the 90s, they were called the Seattle Supersonics. and he beats them to win 4 NBA championships. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, Alex, what does the sports analogy, what does a sports story has to do with going to the nightclub and the bar? Well, instead of the basketball teams being clock blockers, imagine a 300-pound woman is the Utah Jazz. Order for Michael Jordan to win 6 championships, Michael had to go through John Stockton and Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz in the 1997 NBA Finals. It was the Chicago Bulls versus the Utah Jazz. And Michael Jordan had to score between 35 to 45 points a game to beat this basketball team. At this time, Michael had the best record in the NBA. 72 wins, 10 losses, and had the best record. And he had a stomach virus. One day he ordered, I think, either Domino's Pizza or Pizza Hut, and he had a stomach virus. Someone food poisoned Michael Jordan because they didn't want Michael Jordan to get in the way of him. They didn't want Michael to cause Utah to lose a championship. Like, Utah had the best record in the West. Chicago had the best record in the East and the best record overall in the NBA. And somehow, some way, with sheer force of determination of will, Michael Jordan, as sick as he was sick as a dog, losing 20 pounds, looked like Skinny Man, went into the Utah Jazz arena and dropped 39 points on a basketball team that had all the advantages. They had all of the favors going in their favor to win. And here comes Michael Jordan, sick as a dog, and drops 39 points on their ass. And wins his 5th NBA championship. And now Michael Jordan's got 5 NBA championships. Year later, it's 1998. A rematch of the NBA Finals. Chicago Bulls versus the Utah Jazz, Part 2. A rematch of the NBA Finals. This time, it's not a stomach virus. Now, he's got a high temperature fever. And once again, Michael Jordan's dehydrated. Michael Jordan's throwing up. Michael Jordan needs to go to the hospital and go see a doctor because he's dehydrated. And again, Michael Jordan successfully wins games 1 and 2. They lose game 3. They miraculously win game 4. Utah Jazz has a chance to take game 5 from Michael. They do. And then Michael does what he always does. The crossover. We see he steals the ball from Brian Russell. He loses his balance. And everyone's got their mouth open like, oh my God, please don't do it. Please don't do it. And I saw all these damn signs. Michael die. Michael Jordan, I'm gonna blow up your car. Michael Jordan, you ain't gonna be the greatest of all times. And he hits that clutch shot and he wins 6 NBA championships, 2 three-peats, wins 6 times, undefeated in the NBA Finals. Now you might say, Alex, but you still haven't explained why the name of the video is called Sex Game, Nightclubs, and Bars. Now the reason of telling you the Michael Jordan story is because a lot of y'all, if you're going to try to go to the nightclub, if you're going to try to go to the bar, you need to have that killer assassin mentality. You got to come with the approach that you're Michael Jordan. A lot of times when you guys go to these nightclubs, they're in various locations. Sometimes they're in Hollywood. There's like about at least 15, I would say there's a total of 15 bars, alcohol bars, 15 bars, 20 nightclubs, and every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, 4 days out of the whole week, people go to the bars to drink alcohol, apple martinis, Bloody Marys. That was very popular back in the 1990s. It ain't now, but back then it was. You know, a Jack Daniels, you know, a Shirley Temple. These are all alcohol beverages, by the way, that if you drink too much of it, you can get pulled over by the police at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. Because a lot of these guys that drive these fast sports cars, you know, I got me a Lamborghini, I got me a Porsche, I got me a Viper. You guys, not you, but the guys I see in Hollywood, they be driving anywhere from 60 to 125 miles per hour, and they drive through 7 red lights, and all of a sudden you hear, ooh, 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 ooh. Hello, officer. Can I help you with something? Yeah, I need you to turn the car off, take the car keys out of the ignition, put your hands up, slowly open the door, and get out of the car and put your hands behind your head. But before that, I need to check your license and registration, please. Now, these guys spend maybe 1 or 2 nights in jail because they broke not one violation. They broke like 4 or 5 violations in one day. But they don't know it because they're intoxicated. So there's that part of the element of the nightclub. Then there's those long, dreaded ass lines where you spend anywhere between 1 hour to 2 hours in line trying to get inside of a packed nightclub. Cause the bitches and the hoes is out. I get it. I understand it. But I got some rules I have to explain. If you're going to try to go to the nightclub or the bars Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, there's stuff you have to prepare yourself for. And that is when it's okay to go to the nightclub and the bars and when it's not okay to go to the nightclubs and the bars. The reason why I'm using basketball, the reason why I'm using sports as a metaphor is that I'm trying to say when you go into the nightclub, a lot of times you guys be trying to talk to the most beautiful, most sexually attractive women on the planet Earth, or should I say in the universe, and these women roll their eyes at you, they snap their fingers, they got stank attitudes, they be all skank with it, don't want to talk, don't want to say nothing to you. You buy them 2 drinks, and they walk off with their booty switching, and they don't even talk to you for the rest of the night. And then y'all guys go home with blue balls. It's like playing baseball. 3 strikes and you're out. But I'm using basketball because most black men understand what I mean when I say basketball. I'm talking about the metaphor that every time a challenge was put in front of Michael Jordan, somehow, some way, Michael Jordan always found his way to the NBA Finals. He won the series. He won the championship. And he always had a parade in Chicago. Now, once he retired in 1998, you know, they didn't have nobody in the East that was dominant, except for Patrick Ewing. Well, Patrick Ewing at this point was now damaged, you know, broken, messed up knees. You know, he had been playing for 13 years. He got injured 7 times in his career. And he wasn't the same Patrick Ewing anymore. And a new player in the East was going to emerge. At that time, we had Allen Iverson come into his own. Yes, the same Allen Iverson that crossed over Michael Jordan in the 1996-1997 NBA season. Yes, that Allen Iverson. But my point is, the cock blocker is a fat girl that's 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds. You need to come in with the mentality of Michael Jordan. Imagine a girl that's 300 pounds, imagine her as Utah Jazz. Imagine another girl that's 400 pounds, imagine her as the Detroit Pistons. Picture all the teams that Michael played against and destroyed. Now, picture the clock blockers in the nightclub as challenges you must overcome. Some of the most competitive and most harshest animalistic environments are not just nightclubs and sports bars. You see it all the time in television. Every time you watch a championship basketball game, the NBA Finals, you got people who make the most loudest noises they can possibly make. They got signs saying, I hate LeBron James. Kobe Bryant, you need to retire. Carmelo Anthony, you suck. They got all these signs. And every time someone makes a free throw, they got these little stick things that make all these vibration noises to throw off the athlete's game. And you got athletes that somehow, some way, with all the noise turned up, with the high voltage turned all the way up, manage to succeed and persevere to victory. So when you guys watch these athletes, there's a reason why athletes love going to the nightclubs and the bars, because they thrive off of competitive pressure. They thrive off of it. They revel in it. That's why Michael Jordan's won 6 NBA championships. That's why Kobe Bryant's won 5 NBA championships, because Kobe Bryant thrives off of pressure. That's why Magic Johnson has 5 NBA championships, because the Magic Man thrives off of pressure. You got to come in with that type of mentality. Go in there like Michael Jordan. I gave you prime examples. Now let's talk about when some of you guys are in a rush to go to the nightclubs and the bars because the bitches and the hoes are out. A lot of you guys got bad, well, not you, but the guys that you do see. Sometimes it could be your friends. Sometimes it could be your family members. Sometimes it could be your co-workers from work. A lot of these guys are fat, out of shape. Yeah, you got men that are 200 pounds. You got some guys that are from 200 to 280 pounds, fat and out of shape and overweight. You got some guys that are 300 pounds, 320 pounds. You got some guys that are 400 pounds. So you got some cases where your best friend or your co-worker from work, the place that you work at your job, he's anywhere from 200 to 400 pounds, fat and out of shape. You know, he doesn't brush his hair. He doesn't wash and shampoo and condition his hair. He smells, so he has bad hygiene. And he want to go hang out with you on a Friday night or on a Saturday night after work. Problem is, he got bad hygiene. And then he don't go to 24-hour fitness. He doesn't go to LA Fitness. He doesn't go to Gold's Gym. He doesn't go to Club Onyx. He doesn't even go to Planet Fitness and work out. He doesn't do any cardio. He doesn't do any weight training. And you're embarrassed by his appearance. But he wants to hang out with you. And then when you get into the nightclub, he embarrasses you in public. He wastes his time talking to girls who don't find him physically, sexually attractive. So because of that factor, if he can't score, then I'm afraid you won't be able to score because of that. And women always pay attention to who you come into the nightclub with. So if you come in a group of 6 guys, she gonna pay attention to the fact there's 6 guys in the group. If you come into the nightclub or sports bar and there's 5 guys, she gonna pay attention to the fact there's 5 guys. Same thing if it's 4 guys, 3 guys. If you come in and it's just 2 guys, she gonna pay attention that there's 2 guys. And it ain't just nightclubs in Hollywood. You got nightclubs in Hollywood, West Hollywood, North Hollywood, Burbank, Glendale. You got some in Pasadena. You got some places in Redondo Beach. You got places, you got nightclubs all over Los Angeles, California. And basically what I'm saying is, these guys don't be prepared. That's just one problem. Then the next problem that we got is you do self-improvement. Now, I'm all for self-improving yourself. I'm all about money, looks, and status. You know, get your money up, get in athletic shape. But then a lot of times when you do too much self-improvement, there is one major drawback. There is one major weakness. You get accused of being antisocial. And don't worry, somewhere in the summertime, I'm going to make a video called How Do You Stop People of Accusing You and Stereotyping You as Being Antisocial. I went through the same painful process. So don't feel bad. You're not the only one. Then you get cases where when you go into the nightclub, you get another friend. You get the one that's an idiot. The one that can't stop laughing. The one that can't stop smiling and shit. and he embarrasses you and the other guys in the club or in the sports bar. He buys all the women drinks, and these women don't say thank you. They don't give him a phone number, not even an email address, not even so much a kiss on the face. They don't even let him touch the breast or the ass. But he buys all the girls drinks, and he makes all the guys in the club, whether he knows them or not, he makes them all look bad. You know, breasts smell bad, hair messed up, bad hygiene. But he's the idiot that always laughs and smiles all the time. But he doesn't know what to talk about. You know, there's that guy. Then you have the one that's my personal favorite. Oh yeah, Calypso Oregon. I'm gonna say it again. Calypso Oregon, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Ringo TV Raw, Ron Wills, Alpha Male Strategies, my boy Solo TV 84. You got the talking ass man who always tell the girl, when we get out this club, I'm gonna tear that booty up. I'm gonna wax that booty. I'm gonna hit that booty. I'm gonna make you scream and say God. And then the girl be like, oh, really? And then when he actually has the opportunity that it presents himself, all of a sudden she go back the next day to work and say, girl, his package is so small, he couldn't even get off a nut. I mean, he couldn't even bust a nut. He couldn't even work me out in the bed. Now everybody on Facebook and on Twitter is laughing at your ass because you talked all that shit, and a lot of times your best friend be like, bruh, you're not Floyd Mayweather Jr., okay? When Floyd Mayweather Jr. goes to a nightclub in Las Vegas, he commands all of the attention from the bitches and the hoes. And I know what it is. You hear stories in high school and college, stories at work or in the gym or while playing basketball, that there's this one guy that when he comes into the nightclub on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturday nights, he gets about 80% of the women's attention and he slay all these hoes. And you be saying to yourself, well, if he can do it, how come I can't do it? And like my friend Big Boss Calvin 83 said on YouTube, you gotta have money, looks, and status in that particular order for you to slay them hoes. Now, let's talk about strategies. To me, it's better to go to the nightclubs and the bars during the summertime if you're gonna try to do it, because that's when you have more opportunities versus you just do it at complete total random. Now, a lot of y'all don't be having, well, not y'all, but y'all have friends who don't be having their clothes together. So this is part one of the video. I'll come back with a part two. And part two, I'm going to talk about what happens when you get a girl and you brag to your friend that you scored, and then your best friend finds out that the girl's 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, 500 pounds, and you bragging in a nightclub, but you get a average or below average woman. I'm going to talk about that in part two. This was part one.